Hi, welcome, welcome back. I'm very happy that you are here. Today is a bit different because I kinda got sick, so I have to lay in bed and not really move much. But don't worry, I was already resting a lot. I'm trying to rest and drink a lot of fluids and everything, and not move too much. So yeah, you don't have to worry about me. I am fine. I was kinda hoping that maybe this time maybe this time you could keep me company, like um I am very bored, to be honest, and I need to kill some time, so I was hoping that we could spend it together, uh, just resting and chilling. But I actually have plan for us. I would like to tell you a story, and I also have one joke ready. Yeah, it's very silly joke. So definitely prepare yourself for some cringe. Mhm. Yeah. Oh gosh. Um, I originally wanted to do something very different, to be honest, and I'm kinda sad because I cannot. But we can do that next time. I actually wanted to go into a very nice world where I would cook for you, and then I wanted to go bowling, to play some bowling. That would be so much fun. But I cannot. I have to stay in bed. So yeah, so we have to do it this way now. And um, yeah, I also have. Oh gosh, yeah, I had such a rough sleep today. I actually woke up to a nightmare dream, and it was not nice. But yeah, it was just a nightmare. I mean, I can survive a nightmare. I'm an adult, right? Yeah, but it was definitely uncomfortable. So I'm feeling a bit anxious, but that's alright. It's just feelings, and I can handle feelings. And sorry for my voice, it might sound a bit um cracky sometimes. But yeah, it's already so much better. Um, so okay. First, before we begin, as usual, I would like us to just relax a bit and drop shoulders and get to just 1% more comfortable. Take a deep breath and slow down. Yeah, I'm very happy that I can rest like this with you. It's really very nice to have you here. But first, before we get sleepy, yeah, also, you you feel free to fall asleep and rest while I talk. I don't need you to pay close attention or anything. I just want you to stay here with me and just be here. That's good enough. Mhm. Well, I wonder how was your day? I hope it was better than mine, certainly. Mm, yeah, and if it was not, then we can have a miserable day together today. So at least we are not alone. But uh, first, I want to um, tell you a joke. Uh, it's very, very, very silly. So just prepare yourself because it's gonna be rough. So also, but first you need to really get yourself comfortable and cuddle. Oh, I have such a fluffy blanket and yeah, I'm very warm and cozy right now and a bit sweaty. Yeah, that comes with it. You have to sweat to how would I say release the sickness from your body. I sometimes feel like I'm talking like an ape, like ooga booga. Yeah, you need this to do, yes. Eh, but it will get better. I believe so. Just need to practice more. Eh, okay, so get yourself comfy and I will tell you my joke. But um, so it, okay. So a blind man walks into a bar, then into a chair, and then into a table. I bet you don't understand, right? It took me a moment to understand it. But I will not explain it. No. You have to understand it on your own because that would ruin the joke. So I will leave you to it. And yeah, it's such a silly joke. I love it. I love these silly jokes because they are so stupid that they are actually funny, and I love it. Yeah. Oh. Okay. So what about some story time? And I will start to actually speak a bit more quieter and slower, so I don't really interrupt your rest. At least not with my silly jokes. And we can just rest together. So this story is about how I met a bear. Yeah, a real bear. And I died there. I'm sorry. I don't know why it was why I thought it would be funny. No, I obviously survived. And it's actually it's kind of funny story, even though it's also a bit tense. But I think it's mostly funny. So I live in a city, but I'm originally from a village. So when go to visit my family, I am going to a village, obviously, and um, it was actually a spring. It was, yeah, late spring, and I decided I will go visit my family. And I immediately heard all these rumors about a bear being around the village, like lots of sightings of a bear. And there were also like photos, but it was more like these really, really far away photos of just a small black dot on a field, and they were saying it was a bear. So I was like, no, I don't think. Maybe they are just, you know how it is in village. People are bored, so they tend to get excited about everything. And yeah, so, and my friend also, who lives there, he was also talking about bear and how it's how it was sighted on multiple places. And my family was talking about bears. It was actually on the village Facebook site. Yeah, photos like that and everything. But yeah, since I grew up in the village, and yeah, let me tell you, I was not really afraid of forests or like when it's dark outside. I didn't have any problems going out to the forest at dark. Actually, when I was like, what was it? 13, I think. When I was 13, one summer evening, I had an idea to take my little Dachshund. Is it Dachshund? I hope so. It's a little sausage dog. And I took him out to a field which was under a kind of big hill. I wouldn't call it mountain, it was more like hill. And I took him there at around 11:30 in the evening, like almost before midnight, because I wanted to go see deers. I wanted to see the horde of deers. Yeah, and I kinda did it. So I took him and we lied in the grass for like maybe half an hour until it was completely dark. But your vision actually adjusts to the dark, so you can actually see a bit. And there was moon and everything. And then the horde of deers came. There were like big deers with their, what is it called? Horns? I don't think it's horns. Yeah, the sticks on the head. So there were lots of deers and it was beautiful. And I had to hold down the doggy because he was trying so hard. Oh, by the way, his name was Buck, and he was trying so hard to go and play with the deers, so I had to hold him down. But he was small, so it was no issue. Yeah, but I'm going sideways from my original story. So yeah, I was not really that afraid of being out in the forest at night. And I spent a lot of time like this, so I was not really afraid of bears or anything when everyone was talking about it, because, you know, sometimes it just happened that people were talking about it a lot, but I have never actually met a bear, so I was like, nah, that's not. I don't think it's that important. So I visited my family and I visited my friend, and we went out to walk around the village. And since, oh gosh, I'm gonna lose every small bit of respect in your eyes, probably. But that's okay, I like things being real. So, yeah. Basically, with my friend, we decided to go to a local pub. Yeah, we went to a local pub and we drank a bit, maybe a bit too much. And when we were really, really drunk, we went for a walk around the village. And to be specific, to the end of the village. So it was the absolute edge of the village, near the forest. Yeah, imagine this. It was like a small valley between two fields, and the valley was like going into a forest. There was like a forest with a stream and a small reservoir, I would call it. Yeah, because it was like human created reservoir for fish, and also there was another one for the firefighters, like the local volunteer firefighters. Yeah, it was basically a small complex in a valley which was meant to be used by the local volunteer firefighters to train, to store their equipment. There were also like, oh gosh, I forgot the basic word. Basically a small playground for kids, a bunch of benches, and also a podium. Is it called podium in English? I think so. I hope so. Like a platform for performance. But it's basically everything was kinda not well maintained, I would say. So there was a very tall grass. So I was sitting there with my friend, very drunk, at around midnight, and it was raining a bit. And you know, there was basically just one street lamp which was very barely touching. The light was very barely touching us. So basically when I turned around, there was complete darkness. You couldn't see anything. It was just the wall of black, wall of darkness. But also there is this very nice fresh air which comes from the forest. So it was also very relaxing just sitting there, breathing the fresh air, and it was like, I liked it. You are basically just kinda lost, if that makes sense, lost in a corner of a village near the forest where there is barely any light and no one around, like absolutely no one around, because who would go out on midnight raining? Yeah, there was only the two of us. So we were sitting on the benches and we were basically facing the street light with, and the wall of darkness was behind us, I would say. And there was the sound of the stream running. The water was splashing a lot because there was like a water drop to the reservoir, so the water was splashing. The air was really fresh, and the wind was so nice and gentle. It was very nice, but as we were talking, I kinda heard something behind me in the tall grass. And I actually heard it already when we were coming there. It was like a growling, but I was like, oh, that must have been a wind, because I was drunk and I didn't care. So I didn't give it much thought. I was like, oh, that's nothing. And it was growling only when we were moving, so only when we were going to the place. Then it stopped, so I was like, oh, maybe it was just my imagination. So, and we sat there, and it was not really that loud, you know? So we were sitting there and talking about about life mostly, you know how it is when you are drunk, you just talk about random stuff and enjoy the moment. And we were just sitting and talking, and then kinda, you know what happens when you drink too much, you have to go pee. So we decided that, yeah, we both had to go pee. And basically he went to the one side of the valley, I went to the other side of the valley. And as I was facing the dark wall of just no light, and there was just some really subtle silhouette of grass, very tall grass and trees, and actually a small like building, but it was not really building. It was just some structure with a roof, and behind it on the hill was a really tall grass, and I was just looking there, just waiting and walking around a bit, and then suddenly I heard another crow, but it was kinda loud this time. And of course, if I were not drunk, I would immediately realize what was going on, but I was still very, very tipsy, so I was just standing there and thinking, and looking at the tall grass on the hill, and I was like, wait, what was that? That sounds a bit dangerous. And then it growled again, but it was really, really loud this time. And this time I just realized, yeah, the fear kicked in, and I just froze, and I was immediately like, oh, I think I know what this is. I think that's a bear, actually. And it was, let me tell you, it was very scary. I have never heard anything like that. I have met a lot of wild boars. Lots of, I don't know what else can you, not really that many dangerous animals are here. I heard the deers, yeah, they sound pretty scary too sometimes. But this was something else. And it was obviously laying there in the tall grass all the time, like maybe 15-20 meters from us, but we couldn't see anything because it was like really dark there. And I started to go slowly backwards. Then I looked at my friend, who also realized what was going on because he could actually hear it to the other side of the valley as well. It was so loud, but it was not like in a way you imagine a bear in movies, like wow. No. It was still more like, hey, hey, just so you know, I'm here and I don't want you to come any closer, so stop right there or you will have problems. More like that. Yeah, more that kind of like growling, like more like annoyed, not really aggressive. Yeah, just annoyed growling. And I looked into the eyes of my friend, who was also walking slowly backwards, and yeah, we immediately knew what was going on. So I just looked at him, and since I was drunk, I was like, hey Adam, I think there is a bear actually, so we actually might have to go. And we started running like crazy, and we ran like 500 meters non-stop to until we were like really far away from the edge of the village, and how basically we started laughing like crazy, and you can imagine the adrenaline of that. It was like yeah, it was scary, but since we were drunk, it was very funny for us, so we were just laughing like crazy, and actually we were really excited because yeah, it was. I don't know why we were excited. It was actually very scary when I look back. Yeah, you don't want to experience that. Yeah, even until now, when I remember that, I'm like, wow, that could have ended up really badly. That could have ended up really, really badly, to be honest. You don't want to interrupt a bear. Definitely not. And I have no idea. Maybe it had like small puppy bear with them. Who knows? Who knows? But I know that they were just resting there in the grass, in the very tall grass, and I couldn't see anything. So it was actually very, very dangerous, to be honest. Yeah, and since then I don't really underestimate these messages about bears anymore. And I don't really go to forest alone or with someone doing like midnight. Yeah, because it's not a good idea. Yeah, very much not a good idea. Yeah, so that's my story about how I met a bear and I survived. And he even saw me pee, so yeah, maybe that actually made him so angry. So yeah, I had lots of places where I really liked to go when I was younger in the village. There was a place like that was a really scary place. Yeah, it was a place like near railroad, but not like. Oh wait. Yeah, apologies, my alarm went off. So yeah, I had really lots of scary places where I like to go, when I was younger. They were, one of them was near the rails, but it was not like rails in the city, you know, where there is lots of shady characters. There was only me and my friends sometimes, and some animals. Yeah, it was a railroad which goes through a field, and it has like bushes and some trees around, and it was under a big hill full of trees. It was actually a kind of national reservation. So yeah, and that place was really scary at night because it was definitely not near a village. It was really outside, and when I look back, I cannot really believe how crazy I was just going there. Sometimes on my own to just chill, because there was this self this DIY, basically a handmade bench, and it was like a corner of yeah, because the rails were up like maybe 5 meters up, and then there was this small valley, like 5 meters deep hole. I'm not sure if I can call that hole. Oh god, I need to make my English better. It was basically down next to the rails, and there were lots of bushes, and you couldn't really see around you because there was tall grass and everything. I wouldn't go there now, but yeah, back then it was a nice place. Once I went there even when it was like I don't know, it was dark and it was winter, so everything was frozen and it was absolutely quiet, like totally quiet place, like almost creepy quiet, to be honest. You just could hear the wind and that's it, and every little cracking in the forest. So yeah, that was scary, but somehow I wasn't afraid of the dark. Maybe I was just naive or something, I don't know. And this was one place. We called these places spots because they were like meeting places for our group. I mean, there was just 3 of us, but yeah, we called them spots, like literally spots in the English word. And this was one of our spots. And yeah, once in a while we went to drink there. Once in a while. Yeah, what? We were young. We were young. I don't drink anymore. It's bad. It's very bad. I almost never drink now. Only when there is a very good occasion and when I can celebrate with my friends. Other than that, not really. And there was one place. There was also sorry. There was also 2 more places. Was there only 2? Yeah, I think. No, 3 more. Oh, well, yeah, only 2 more places. One of them was near river. And it was very nice spot because it was kinda on edge of the village, but also there were some small like cottages near. I'm not sure if you can call them cottages, like people have these small buildings, small cabins maybe, where they or usually old people, and it's a whole zone of these small houses with small backyards, and people usually have like grow some vegetables there, usually old people and stuff like that. So it was near this zone of these small houses, and we went to campfire cooking there, and we were building a camp there. And it was so nice. We could go anytime after school. We could go there and chill near the fire and just, just do whatever we want. We were building a dam. We were swimming in the river. We could build a bench, build a roof, anything, because there were not many people going there, and it was right next to the river. It was very chill place. Only there were wild boars too, but only wild boars, no bears, so it was okay. We were actually campfire cooking there a lot, usually until midnight or 2 a.m. and yeah, you could definitely hear the wild boars there running around. They don't usually come close to fire though. They will be just sniffing around and be like, oh, what's that? I'm so annoyed why are they here? And they are just minding their own business basically. Yeah, the worst part is when you want to go home. Yeah, when you actually want to go home, that's worse, because you have to abandon the fire and go to the very thick forest near the river, and there's lots of stones and you can twist your ankle and everything. So we actually usually went upstream to the river, so we walk on the river, and especially on the side it was not really deep, so we could just walk there. And it's really good when you want to carry your drunk friend. Like I said, I'm not drinking that much anymore. It was just I was just stupid. Yeah, and it was not like I was drinking every weekend or anything like that. I was actually one of the people who didn't drink almost never, to be honest. Yeah, it was just like once in a month, once in a 2 months. And that's pretty good standard for a young, very unexperienced person, I would say. Because I'm not sure how it is in other countries, but in Europe, and especially in the eastern part, yeah, being drunk is one of the biggest fun people have here, and I don't like it, to be honest. Some of my classmates were going out drinking every weekend, and gosh, that must have been so tiring, right? And a bit of an addiction. Yeah, I was mostly like the nerd person sitting at home and playing computer games and building my own Minecraft server. And yeah, I was kind of a boring nerd, to be honest. Yeah. And so this was the second spot. And there was actually one more. And that one was really in a scary place, because it was in a village, in an edge of a village next to my village, so it was actually quite far away, and it was remote, and it was also very, very dense. Like the foliage, the trees, the grass. There was also this thing which almost looked like a bamboo. It's not a bamboo, we don't have a bamboo, right? But it looked almost like a bamboo. It had the same structure and everything, but it was small and you could break it easily. You could play that it's a cigar. Just, yeah, it's not a good idea. If you burn a grass with a hole inside, and you act like it's a cigar and you inhale it, yeah, it's not a good thing. You will start to cough and yeah. Okay, I'm starting to yapping a lot. So back to the point. It was very dense, and it was like a jungle, really dark, dark. Like the moonlight didn't go through the trees there, to be honest. And I liked the feeling of remote and like wilderness, like you could escape the people, the problems, all the chaos and civilization, and yeah, mostly the people, to be honest. And you could escape for a moment and go there and just have everything simplified, you know? It's no longer about like relationships, social media, or anything. You are just in a forest. Everything is so simple and primitive. You just need to pay attention to your surrounding, be creative, and build something like a roof or a small garden or a bridge or a dam or you can build your own small pond and fill it with fish and then take care of the fish and you know and like there's lots of possibilities like in the game the forest, for example, without the zombies, of course. So you could do a lot of things, like creative things there, and so there's just this creativity and also freedom and no judgment from anyone. And it might sound a bit weird, but there is also something comforting and free, maybe I would say, about being afraid in the forest. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't want to get like injured by animal or anything, but it's just so simple, you know, like something you feel in your body that's, yeah, this is what I was supposed to be doing, not writing in Excel sheets and or like sitting behind computer and calling on Microsoft Teams or scrolling social media and anything like that, you know. You were supposed to be just afraid of the animals, of the real danger, and yeah, it's kinda relief, or yeah, it's just simple. It just unloads a lot of stuff from your head and simplifies everything into just being hyper vigilant. Yeah, I think so. Being hyper vigilant about your surroundings, and there are no like, you know, there is just real danger, not the imagined one. And I know it's definitely worse than imagined danger, but yeah, it was kinda relaxing in a way, even though it was scary. There is actually a nice movie which I really love, which is called Into the Wild. Maybe you have seen it. And that's the movie where I got lots of these crazy ideas when I was young. And that's why I was really coming to the nature a lot. And just really trying to have these breaks. Yeah, and also another exciting part about that was when it was actually spring or autumn, the water was quite cold, but it was so refreshing when you jumped into the cold water. It made you feel alive. You know, can you imagine just the wild freedom feeling of jumping into a river somewhere in the wild jungle? Yeah. But it's, yeah, just to clarify, it's our jungle. It's not the real jungle. Like, yeah, it's our European jungle. Just basically a very dense forest, which are usually near the rivers and low places. Because the other forests which I mentioned before, those were like the usual European forests, you know, like no, oh, what is it called? No, like climbing grass, climbing plants, which climb on the forest. Yeah, it's just basically mm, pine forest, normal pine forest, the like which you can find when you go a lot uphill to the mountains a bit. And this was really like a jungle, like very dense, and you couldn't really move through it a lot. You have to have like some big knife or something like that to cut through the grass. Yeah, and after a few years, just recently, I met my friend and we went for a walk there. But I'm very smart this time, so we went during the day. But it was still a bit scary, to be honest, because when we went there, there is just this. It's like an island, but it's not really island. It's just like a dense jungle, then there is a smaller stream, then there is the island, and then there is big river, you know, so the island is between the river and the smaller stream. Basically, it's something like island. You have to walk on a fallen tree to get to the island, and we went there to have a look at our old spot. And actually, we turned around because there were lots of sounds of wild animals there, and yeah, I'm not that adventurous anymore, to be honest. So, yeah, these are my stories, and I really hope they are helping you just drift off and fall asleep. And I'm really thankful for you just listening to me and being here. It really means a lot that I can spend time like this instead of just, you know, being bored. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being here for me today. And I promise I will be here for you in the next video. So I actually have big plans to go to really lots of beautiful places with you, but yeah, I need to get healthy first. Yeah. So, what do you think? I hope you like these story times. And yeah, I hope it was not too tense and that you actually managed to fall asleep or just relax and close your eyes. Because I really want you to get some rest every time you spend some time with me. My goal is just for you to feel a bit better or have something nice on the back end. I really don't want you to feel lonely or anything. You know, I'm here for you. Even though it's just like this, I'm here for you. And if you are still here, you seem to be here for me too, so I really appreciate it. Thank you. And now I will slowly go and have some more and get healthy so we can have some fun next time. I'm really looking forward to that. You're awesome. Just so you know. Yeah, let's just get some really juicy rest. Also, one more question. Are you a soda? Because you look so delicious. Gosh, sorry, I couldn't help myself. Yeah. I will leave you sleep. I will leave you sleep. Just wanted to let you know that you look so delicious. Yeah. Gosh. Sleepy time. Yeah. It's raining so much. I really hope my voice is okay for you today. I hope you still like my voice even when it's a bit rusty. Yeah, because you guys said so many nice things about me and my voice, and yeah, I really appreciate it. Thank you. It always like makes me blush, and sometimes it even makes me a bit teary when I hear all the nice things you say. Thank you. You're such a nice people, like being so sweet to me. Thank you. Thank you. Oh gosh, this bed is so comfy. I love it. dreams. Sweet dreams.